I wanted to make a video about a character that was underrated and maybe a little bit overhated. If you don't know who I'm talking about Yorozu, the ancient sorcerer from the same era as Sukuna. Now, compared to most characters in the manga, this character isn't shown too long, only stretching across about 10ish chapters, and first shown appearance being chapter 211. Now, when she first appeared, no one knew it was her, so she pretended to be Megumin's sister. If you don't know what happened in the manga, bless your soul at this point, if you didn't get spoiled. But Yorozu is an ancient sorcerer who was reincarnated in someone's body, and that person happened to be Megumin's sister. Funny enough, this is actually what let Megumin and Itadori guard down and allowed Sukuna to attack Megumin, and this ultimately allowed Sukuna to steal Megumin's body. But let's come back to that in a second, because after outing herself as an ancient sorcerer and adding a new rule, she actually decides to leave, and we don't see her for another 4 chapters when she wants to fight a Sukuna who at this point has stole Megumin's body. Now, if you're wondering why does she want to fight Sukuna, it's very simple. Because if she wins against Sukuna, she's gonna force him to marry her. Because the interesting thing we learned about these two, Yuzuru and Sukuna that is, that she actually is in love with Sukuna, and Sukuna doesn't feel a damn thing towards her. Now to be fair, Yorozu knows Sukuna doesn't like her, much less love her, but it doesn't really matter, because Yorozu is obsessed with Sukuna. Obsessed so much to the point where back in the Heian era, one time when Sukuna split her right down the chest, all she could think about is just basically doing tricks on it. You know, loving Sukuna even though he didn't attack her. Side note, I think everybody from the Heian era that was shown is kind of crazy. To be fair though, most people from the Heian era that was strong sorcerers was treated with great respect. Well, unless you're Urarame. Now that you basically have a general idea about Yorozu, let's talk about her abilities. Yorozu's curse technique is construction. This basically allows her to recreate all substances that she recognized, except for cursed tools. This actually allowed her to develop liquid metal with changeable volume, yet stable physical properties due to semi-autonomous cursed energy. This actually allowed her, or led her more fact, to creating flesh armor. The reason she created the flesh armor was because her technique was insufficient when it came to cursed energy. So even though her output was on the same par as, some of the best fighters of her era, the amount of the consumption of her cursed energy from the technique was a problem. But after hearing some great things some bugs did, she actually decided to study bugs and constructed armor based off of insects. This actually allowed her to become a greater threat, not only improving her raw strength, but her durability as well. Also allowing her to do things like fly. Don't get me wrong though, if you do have a significant amount of strength, you can destroy her armor. Like when Sukuna caught her off guard and dropped Mass Elephant on her, shattering her armor completely. Another thing her construction allowed her to do is construct a perfect or true spear. Now, when she constructs this true spear, the spear actually has no contact area, so it generates infinite pressure. In other words, meaning if you touch this spear, you're done for, because obviously nobody can withstand infinite pressure. Now, I know someone's gonna say, but Magaraga was able to destroy it, but they missed the context behind this scene, or they just didn't flat out care. Because at this point when Magaraga was summoned, he basically already adapted to it. Because since the spear was made from Yorozu's construction technique, Sukuna had already adapted to construction, which means Magaraga was able to, so it wouldn't affect him in the first place. Now, last ability that I want to talk about is her domain expansion, threefold affliction, and its ability is, whoever knows, because she didn't get a chance to activate it. Because when she opened up her domain expansion, she didn't activate his ability because she wanted Sukuna to pop his domain expansion, which obviously led her to getting beat by Maharaga. Now, am I saying Yorozu is strong as this version of Sukuna? Obviously not. Because throughout the whole fight, Sukuna never once used his shrine or cutting attack. But nonetheless, Yorozu is still a strong fighter. The only thing that held her back is she only appeared in this one fight. And the only fight she appeared in happened to be the strongest character in the series. So it's not really a good look, but I believe if she was to go against almost any other sorcerer besides Gojo, the fight probably would have ended way differently. But that was pretty much it for Yorozu, mainly because of the fact that after this fight she died, obviously Sukuna killed her, or mainly suffering from what all ancient sorcerers in this anime suffer from, not getting enough screen time. And I feel like if she was involved in more fights, she would be more recognized as a threat, or at least more than Kashimo, who's recognized as the strongest ancient sorcerer besides Sukuna. Because if it wasn't for Kashimo's speed, I would put Yorozu above him. Because let's be honest, Kashimo lost about 2 or 3 fights he was in. But that's pretty much it. Don't sleep on the ancient sorcerer.